It's great to see you. Welcome, Bob. Welcome, Candy. Welcome, Tanya. Hi, Christy. So today we are going to do a flow that's all about getting grounded and really calming the energy down and allowing that next door, that next window, whatever it is in your life, to open up for you. Our next yoga class is going to be mid-October. So we're going to use that theme and also honor Ganesh today in our practice. So the Festival of Ganesha is usually in late August, early September. Now, don't stress if you're like, I don't know about this whole Ganesha thing. I totally get that. So we're going to focus on utilizing this as a way to view the obstacles in our life as the way forward in our life. Sometimes really the only way out is through whatever it is going on for you. And so with that, we're going to tap in to the story of Ganesh and also how it relates to our first chakra. So our first chakra is Muladhara, and long story short, it's related to our security, our foundation, and survival. And Ganesh is going to also be identified with the sound of Om. So, okay, no one else can hear you. You're probably in your living room or your workout room, wherever you are. So don't be afraid to get loud, okay? We're going to do 3 Oms together, just to kind of break the barriers. All right, big breath in. Full breath out, Om. Om. Okay, 2 more times. Big breath in. Om. And last time, and if you're practicing with someone at home, Bob and Candy, how about you guys give yourself a high five after you're done with that Om? All right, big breath in. Om. Sweet. All right, isn't it nice just to get tapped into your own voice and your own body? Feel free to use those Oms in your own practice on a day-to-day basis or maybe once a week to really feel what it feels like to let yourself make some noise. All right, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat. I'm here in easy seat, but sometimes easy seat is not so easy, and that is okay. So if you've got knees that don't like to sit like this, don't worry. We've got cross-legged options, and you can choose whichever foot goes in front. And if you want to make your hips just a little bit happier, you can use a bolster, a block, or a pillow. And then whether you're sitting cross-legged or in easy seat, you want to feel supported by whatever you're using as your props. And you also want to make sure that your hip is above your knee. So this just helps the iliopsoas and the quadriceps muscles relax and not try and chase your knee, basically. All right, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes. Begin to tune in to the flow of your breath. Keep tuning in to that inhale and that exhale. I want you to inhale and exhale in a way that works well for you in your body. You can breathe in and out of the nose. You can breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Oftentimes, letting that exhale be more of a sigh can help soothe anxiety and encourage the body to relax. So I'm going to demo one of those, but if you want to stay with however you're inhaling and exhaling now, feel free to do that. So big breath in, full breath out, sigh it out. So I want you to know you have that as an option if you ever need to ground your energy and take some strain out of that breathing in and out of the nose, because I know sometimes it can be difficult to breathe in that way. That being said, you can also breathe in and out of your mouth, and if you want to use your Ujjayi breath, go for it. You're going to be here for about 1 more minute. You'll see me leave the frame if your eyes are open, and then I'm going to return. If your eyes are closed, start to open your eyes. And we're going to bring our palms together and start to rub our palms. This is a great exercise for helping you get into your own body and not fly away wherever the sunshine is. So you might tune in to the sound. You might notice the warmth that you naturally generate. And if your fingers are cold or the tops of your hands are cold, you can give them some warmth also. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to inhale, reach our arms all the way out. Try and see just how far apart your arms can get. Reach, 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 reach. Big breath in. Now for the fun part. Exhale, clap. And then you can rub your palms. So I always think this is fun because it's fun to make some noise. We're going to do that 2 more times. Big breath in. And then a full breath out, clap. And last time, big breath in. Full breath out. Now bring your nice warm hands to the tops of your shoulders, and I want you to press down on those upper shoulder muscles, our upper trapezius. So if you spend a lot of time driving or sitting at a computer or on a lot of Zoom calls recently, you might notice a lot of tension in your upper shoulders and the bottom of your neck. That's okay. When you press down on those muscles and reach up through the top of your skull, you might tune in to a gentle stretch on the sides of the neck. And then of course, you have the option to use your fingers to dig into any knots that might be bothering you today. All right. Alrighty, now those chips on your shoulders, we're just gonna brush them off. And find a big breath in. Inhale to reach the arms out and up. Exhale to bring the hands down to center. 2 more times, big breath in. And a full breath out. 1 more time. Feel free to stay seated where you are. I'm going to turn to the side. So I'm going to show you a few arm options. You might bring your hands to interlace behind your back and then reach your hands back towards the wall behind you. If this is not comfortable for your shoulders or your elbows, another option is to bring the hands to the elbows. Now you get to choose what's going to work best in your body. In this stretch, we're looking to feel a stretch maybe on the tops of the shoulders, through our delts. You might also feel a stretch at the front of the chest in your pecs. Now go ahead and switch the hand that's on top. And gently let go of the stretch. So from here, you're going to walk your hands forward so that way you can feel a gentle stretch in your hips or in your back. Please listen to your body. Your body is very smart. And if it gives you pain signals, like for example, a sharp shooting pain or a part of your body going numb, those are signs to back out of that pose so that way you don't accidentally injure yourself. Of course, that gentle stretch, that dull, achy feeling is okay in a stretch. That's what we're going to be looking for when we move into some of these poses. So you're going to walk your hands forward, whether your legs are crossed or your legs are in easy seat. On an inhale, rise on up. And then if your legs are crossed, you're going to switch the cross of your legs and we'll re-enter into the pose. Walking the hands forward. Tune into your breath. On an inhale, rise on up. And then if you're using a support, please put your support over to the side. We're going to head to tabletop next. So in tabletop pose, your hands are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. This is a great pose to feel grounded. Press down into the ground with your hands and your knees and your feet. You get to choose what you do with your feet. You might feel most comfortable with the tops of your feet on the ground or with the toes tucked. From here, we're going to inhale and move into upward dog balance. reach your right hand forward and your left foot back. Draw the belly in and press down through the hand and the leg. Big breath in. Exhale to bring hand and knee down to the ground. We're going to switch to the other side. Inhale to reach forward and back. We'll be here for about 2 more breaths. Some ways that you can offer yourself more support in the front of a bird dog balance is a little bend in the elbow. That helps fire up the upper arm muscles. And then you can press the knuckles down at the top of your hand to better support yourself through the lower part of your arm. If your knuckles are popped up, it's going to be a lot more difficult to balance. So spread the fingers and ground down. Exhale to bring hand and knee down to the earth. We've got some cat's breaths next. Inhale to reach the heart forward and the hips back. Exhale to curl and engage the abdominals, press down through the hands and legs. Big breath in. And a full breath out. One more time. Inhale to return to neutral tabletop. Then from here, we're going to try tucking the toes and walking a little bit more back towards the knees. Lift the hips and fold in between the legs. If that is a no-go, you're going to find child's pose, which is very similar to the first stretch that we did if you were in easy seat. So the reason why we're holding this stretch is because we're opening up through the inner thighs and the hips, which are connected in many ways to the issues of the first chakra, Muladhara. You can also practice grounding down through your heels, bringing in more of a stretch into your calves. Now from here, we're going to move into downward facing dog. So if you're in child's pose, you'll move forward through tabletop, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up to find downward dog. If you're in our grounded crow in many ways, you're going to walk the hands forward, find your bear, then lift the hips, keeping those knees lifted the entire time. Downward dog is a great place to kind of tune in to where your body is today. So you might bend one knee and then the other. You might wiggle out the shoulders or shake out the head. You might ground down through the hands, lift the hips up and back, and reach down through the heels, choosing instead to find groundedness and stability. On an inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale to step your foot through. If that's difficult, don't worry. You can inhale and then bring the foot down and assist the leg forward. You're going to find a lunge. Lower the knee, reach the arms forward and up. We'll pause here for a little bit. So press down into the ground with your feet. Engage your abdominals, drawing the belly in to help you grow tall through your spine. One more inhale. Exhale to bring the hands down to the ground, step forward to the top of your mat and find a fold. So for our first fold of today, you can bring the knees to a bend. You might bring the hands to the elbows, hanging heavy and feeling how your hamstrings are today. So you might notice if you feel super open in your hamstrings, or maybe you want to warm up a little bit more before you find a big stretch. I'm going to show you a few halfway lift options. Option 1, you're going to make a 90-degree angle, engaging the abdominals with the hands on the thighs. Many people find this as a good hamstring stretch. You might also feel a stretch in your calves. So if this is where you want to stay today, you can. Option 2, bringing the hands to the fronts of the shins and looking forward. Option 3, fingertips in line with the toes, finding more of a back bend, lifting the tailbone and looking forward. Remember, friends, no option is better than any other option. You want to choose the option that gives you that right level of challenge, helps you find your flow, and doesn't cause any pain in your body. Okay. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. You can keep that bend in your knees for now if you need to. Press down into the ground with your feet and rise on up. We're going to spend some time in Tadasana. So open up the hands, spread your fingers, press your palms forward and ground down through your feet. Tapping in to a strong and stable mountain, engaging the core, grounding through the earth. So when you're in Tadasana, I want you to choose a distance with your feet that's comfortable for you. So you might bring feet together if that's comfortable for you. If that causes strain in the hips, I typically like to see students in that hips width distance because you can feel the alignment from hip, knee, and ankle. But of course, a narrower base of support is going to challenge your balance a little bit more, so keep that in mind. Lift your toes, spread your toes, and bring your toes back down to the ground. Feel free to play with that if you're not used to engaging with your toes. Sometimes we just leave our feet all the time in shoes and we don't get connected to our feet. So if that's a new sensation for you, feel free to try that, spreading the toes, spreading the hands, lowering the toes, and pressing the palms forward. From here, we're going to step back to Warrior One. So you're going to step that right foot back. Toes are going to be about 45 degrees or pointing towards the top edge of your mat. Bring the hips forward and hands at center. So Warrior One is a great pose to be able to tap into those first chakra foundational challenges. So you might notice that sometimes your hips want to open and you lose your balance. To respond to that, you're going to squeeze your glutes, look forward, and bring that back hip forward. You'll probably find more of a stretch in the front of the hip. Press down into the ground with your feet. And then we're going to step forward into the front foot. Switch it up, step back with the left foot. Hold here in your Warrior One. When you're working in your Warrior One, you're going to want to bring your heel behind that front heel. But if it's a new pose to you or you have a hip injury, that might not be something that you can do in your practice, and that's okay. So a wider base of support, stepping that foot out. So maybe you have the front foot on the left edge of your mat and the back foot on the left edge of your mat and the front foot on the right edge of your mat. That might be better for you today as you work with your balance and your hip mobility. Step forward to the top of your mat and then find a big breath in, reach the arms out and then up. Exhale to fold forward, full breath out. Inhale into your halfway lift. And then exhale to fold. We stepped forward on the right foot last time, so we're going to step back on the left. Inhale to reach the arms up. Root down to rise up. Press down into the ground with your feet. Draw the belly in and lift up and out of the hips in the pose. One more inhale. Exhale to bring the hands down to the mat. You're going to step back into your downward facing dog. Move through a flow. Inhale to come forward to your plank pose. You can keep the knees lifted or you can lower the knees. Elbows by the sides, collarbone wide, lower down to the ground. Inhale to open the heart to your cobra. You get to choose how much of a back bend it is. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale to move forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Option to add in chaturanga. Inhale to move forward. Exhale to bend the elbows. Halfway. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale to step the left foot forward. Inhale to rise up into your lunge. And this time, we're going to find a hip opener. Walk your foot out to the outside edge of the mat. Bring the hands down inside the front foot. And maybe this is enough of a stretch for you. Some options to go further if you don't want to stay here. You might scoot the back foot back, untuck the toes, and bring the elbows down inside the front foot. And if you're like, Neffy, I really didn't want to do a first chakra flow today. I want to do a heart opener. That's okay. This is a great place to add in a heart opener. Reaching the inside arm forward, then back, bending the back foot and grabbing a hold of the foot. I'm reminded of something that a teacher said to me many years ago. When we're in these types of hip stretches, you might feel past emotions, thoughts, memories arise, and that's okay. She said we grip life with our groins, so you might have a lot of tension there because you're scared or you're going through difficulty. Those survival instincts are important and they can drive a lot of things. So keep that in mind. Encourage yourself to relax and tune into your breath. Remembering those lessons of Ganesh, sometimes the only way out is through, and the obstacle can be the way. So from here, you're going to bring that front foot forward, reach the arms up, exhale to bring the hands down. Step forward to fold. Inhale to reach the heart forward, finding your halfway lift. Then exhale to relax, letting the head go. Bend the knees and rise up. We'll bring the hands to prayer. And from here, we're going to step back into that warrior one, but not quite yet. So you're going to find that tree pose. And then we're going to move back into warrior one. Feel free to have some fun exploring tree. If you're not familiar with tree pose, don't worry. We're going to bring the bottom of the foot to the calf, the ankle, or if you're comfortable with it, the inner thigh. Try and keep the hips level and ground down through that stabilizing leg. All right. So you're working on your tree pose, and you want to step back into warrior one. Remember, those toes are going to point a little bit forward and out. You're going to bend that standing leg and step back. Feel free to give it a few tries if you need to. We all fall sometimes. Sometimes it can be the best way to learn. From here, remember how we stepped forward? We're going to step forward into tree pose. So you're going to press down into the ground with that stabilizing leg and bring your foot to where you're comfortable with your tree pose. We're going to try that transition forward and back 2 more times. Big breath in. Exhale to step back and ground. Inhale, grounding down through the feet. And full breath out. Inhale to step forward through your leading heel. Finding your tree pose. Big breath in. Exhale to step back, final time into warrior one. Inhale to step forward, ground both feet. And full breath out to find your mountain pose. Palms face forward. Strong core, pressing down through both of your feet. From here, we're going to try the other side. So feel free to stay where you are on your mat. I'll turn to this side so you can see. You're going to find your tree pose on your first side. So that might be kickstanded at the ankle, or at the calf, or bringing the foot up to the inner thigh. Extra challenge if you don't use your hands at all to move your foot up to the inner thigh. From here, we're going to move back into that warrior three. So big breath in. Exhale to ground down through that front foot and step back into your warrior one. Sorry. I'm thinking where we're going next. So sneak peek, we're going to do some warrior three. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to drive down into that front foot. Stepping forward into your tree. Inhale. Exhale to step back. Standing balances are a great way to connect with your roots and channel that Ganesha energy. So that way you're really rooting down to rise up through those challenges and obstacles that might be coming up for you. Inhale to step forward, finding your tree. Last time to step back into the warrior one. Inhale to step forward, grounding both feet. Option to find steady mountain, pressing down through your feet, spreading the toes. Or you can find extended mountain, reaching the arms out and up, pressing the palms together as you lift the heart, finding more of a standing back bend. Exhale to draw the hands back down if you found your extended mountain. From here, we're going to fold forward, full breath out. Inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Next, we're going to step back so that way we can find our hip stretch on our second side. So you're going to walk that right foot out, lower the knee, and bring the hands down inside the front foot. So if you want to stay here with this stretch, this is a great place to stay. You still have those options to either find more of a fold or to open up into a back bend. So if you want to find more of a fold, you might scoot the back leg back, untuck the toes, and bring the elbows down to the ground. If you want to find more of a back bend, you're going to reach the inside arm, so the one right by the knee, reach it forward, up, and then back. Bend the back leg to grab a hold of the foot. We'll be in this stretch for some time. Some things that you can bring your mind to are the inhale and exhale of the breath. You might notice the sensations that arise. And another thing that might be fun to explore is the similarities and differences of the two sides. Especially with our hips, we usually tend to have one that's more supportive and one that we take more risks with, or is our dominant one that we rely on. So you might notice a difference between your left and your right sides. If you chose to fold further into the pose, begin to press down into your hands and rise up, returning to the center of the pose. If you found the back bend, gently relax the foot down. Please try not to slingshot the leg, and bring both hands down to the ground. From here, walk the front foot forward, so that way it's about right under your shoulder. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to bring the hands to center. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your downward facing dog. Then inhale to move through your flow. Inhale to move forward to your plank, knees lifted or knees lowered. Exhale to lower to chaturanga, halfway, or perhaps lowering all the way down to the belly. Open up into your up dog or your cobra. Then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll move through the flow 2 more times. Inhale to move forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale to open. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Last time. On an inhale, step the left, reach the left foot back. Exhale to step the left foot forward. This time you have an option. You might bring the knee down, or you might reach the knee up, engaging the quadriceps. Inhale to reach up with the arms. Exhale to bring your hands down. You might find a soft prayer, or you might center. From here, we're going to work into a twist, so stay where you are in your lunge. with your twist, you're going to bring the outside elbow across the body to the thigh. You can try and hook the elbow on the outside of the thigh. You might bring the elbow to rest on top, or you might twist through the torso. You're looking for a place where you feel the twist in the upper back and the center of the back, not in the low back. On an inhale, unwind and look forward. From here, you're going to step forward into that front leg, lift the back leg, or you can tap it down. I'll show you both options. So option 1, working on the balance in warrior 3. You can also tap the foot down and then lift the foot up. So moving forward into your lunge, ground down through your heel, look forward, find a spot to look forward on the floor. Then finding your balance point in your warrior 3. Feel free to stay with warrior 3. If you want to use a prop, you can use blocks to help in your warrior 3. You'll put the blocks on either side of your front foot, about shoulder width apart. Then from here, you're going to step back into your lunge. Reach your arms up. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at your heart, or you can center your hands. Inhale to reach up, or find a big, long, tall spine. Exhale to bring the hands down to the ground, step back, downward facing dog. So from here, you can move through your flow. If you want to take it down a notch, you can find child's pose with me. Reaching the arms forward and tuning in to your breath. On an inhale, move forward into your tabletop if you found child's pose. Exhale to lift the hips to downward facing dog. On an inhale, you'll reach the right leg back. Exhale to step it forward to find your lunge. Option for the low lunge. Option for crescent lunge, keeping the knee lifted and engaging strongly through the quadriceps. From here, you're going to bring your hands to prayer or center your hands, and then you're going to move into your twist. The least strenuous is going to be keeping the core engaged, reaching up long through the spine. Exhale, twist towards that front leg without moving forward. The next is going to be adding in the back extension of the back leg, reaching that heel back, and bringing the elbow to rest on top of the thigh. And then the next one is going to be bringing the elbow to the outside of the thigh and finding the twist, maybe even looking up towards the ceiling. On an inhale, unwind. Guess what? Warrior 3. So with warrior three, you're going to step forward into that leading leg, floating the back leg, or bringing the toe to tap down behind you for more stability. And then of course, we have the block option also. So this is great, especially if you've had a recent injury and you want to make sure you're being careful. So you're going to bring your blocks about shoulder width apart, and then find your warrior three balance, pressing down into your hands very similarly to how you would if you were in a plank. From your warrior three, we're going to step back into the crescent lunge or the low lunge. You can reach your arms up. You might find a soft prayer with your hands in Anjali Mudra, almost as if you were holding a blossom in between your palms. Or you can center your hands, bringing your hands in front of your third chakra, the center of your body. On an inhale, reach the arms up. Find a long, tall spine. Exhale to bring the hands down. Step back into downward facing dog. On an inhale, move forward through your flow. Inhale to reach the left leg back. Exhale to step the left foot forward. From here, we're going to rise to warrior two. So with warrior two, you're going to bring the outside edge of your foot to line up with the back edge of your mat. Knee over the ankle, arms reach out from the shoulders and gaze forward. Inhale to face the side of your room. So you're going to reach the arms up. Pivot both toes to face forward. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to reach up. This is a pose called star pose. Exhale, we're going to find goddess pose, heels turned in. Toes point out, elbows bend. And I know, Bob, if you're still watching, this can be your God pose also, so it doesn't have to be just goddesses. On an inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're going to bring hands to prayer or centered. Toe heel those feet in. We're going to find our yogi squat. So you're going to sit low, bring the elbows to the insides of the thighs. Try to keep your heels grounded. If you want more support, you can bring your hands down also. This is also the only place where you're going to have that option for an arm balance. So if you want to go into an arm balance, the time is now. You might find crow pose or one of your choice. On an inhale, press down into the ground with your feet. Root down, engage your thighs to rise up. Reach the arms up, and if you want, you might find more of a back bend. Inhale to find a neutral spine. Exhale, hands down to prayer. Step to the front of your mat. And then we're going to step back into our lunge after we fold forward. Exhale, full breath out. Oh, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to step back into the lunge, stepping back on the right foot. Left foot forward, reach the arms up. Big breath in. exhale to bring the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. This will be your last downward dog of the day. So if you want to find your flow, also finding a final flow, feel free to also find your final flow. Then lift the heels, bend the knees, jump forward to a comfortable seat. From here, big breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale to bring the hands down, finding prayer at your heart. Let your eyes softly close. Notice how your body feels, how the practice may have increased your flexibility or given you some joy. The challenges that might have arisen, and the accomplishments that you were able to make throughout the practice. Testing your balance, exploring something new. Allow your eyes to open. And then you're going to ground your feet in front of you. Reach your arms forward, lower back slow on your mat, keeping your core engaged. When you arrive on your mat, you get to choose how you end your practice tonight. You might find an inversion like waterfall. You might bring a block under the hips or find shoulder stand or plow. To end with your back bends, you might bring the heels down and find bridge pose. Or if full wheel is in your practice, you might find wheel. You have 2 minutes to move in any way that you want. Some poses that might feel restorative are happy baby. You can bring the hands to the outsides of the feet, press the heels up as you draw the arms down. And another way to find restoration is going to be your twists. So twists are a great way to bring in balance, bringing the knees together, bringing the knees over to one side. And then you're going to make sure your hips and your shoulders are in one line. From here, you open out to the amount that feels good for your shoulders. Ground your legs first, since we're tapping into that Muladhara energy. So instead of preferencing the heart opener, you're going to preference the stretch in the side of the thigh. Arms might be able to open all the way out, and you might be able to look over the right hand. But if not, don't worry about it. You can bring your hand to your heart and gaze up at the ceiling. On an inhale, bring the legs through. Then exhale to your second side. Lining up shoulders and hips, making sure the legs stay steady, and then opening out to the degree that feels comfortable for the rest of the body. Don't just try and crank open into that shoulder stretch if it's not working for you today. On an inhale, draw your legs back to center. And then we're going to find a full body stretch, reach the arms up and the legs long. Exhale into your Shavasana. You might let the toes kind of flop out towards the sides. You could bring the hands to the sides or let the hands rest on the body. Shavasana is your place to tune into your own breath, to connect to where you are in your life right now. Maybe you want to bring yourself extra hope or gratitude. Maybe you want to honor the resilience that you've already shown. So whatever it is that you want to bring your mind and your heart to connect with in your Shavasana, feel free to let yourself find that. And if you would prefer not to do a visualization exercise or focus on a specific intention, just tune into the breath as it inhales and exhales. Allow your breath to breathe you. You'll be here for a few moments. You'll see me walk away from the frame, and then I'll return. Begin to bring your mind back to your inhale and your exhale. When you feel ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You might circle your ankles and your wrists. On an inhale, reach the arms up. Full body stretch. And then exhale to roll over onto your side. You can choose whichever side you want. Then in your own time, press your hands down into the ground and rise up to a comfortable seat on your mat. Hands together in prayer. Let's close together with 3 ohms. Big breath in. Full breath out, Om. Hands to the center of your forehead. May the divine light in me honor the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you all for being here today. I am Coach Neffy of Bella Yoga and Health Coaching. Our next free live yoga session and meditation session is going to be in mid-October. Feel free to journey back for our 7 p.m. meditation tonight. Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. If you want to learn more, please join the email list. All you have to do is comment below, hey Neffy, I want in on the email list, and I'll reach out to you and take care of it from there. If you're looking to expand your practice, I also offer an accessible mindfulness course valued at about $108. I sell it for $40 just to you. So if you're on that email list, you've got access to that lovely price. I hope to see you soon. Namaste, lovelies. Bye.